had one request so far to interview the sergeant. He is not in a position where he wants to do interviews right now, so we'll respect his wish at this point, but we will see a lot of video involving him, so you'll get a full grasp of exactly what he went through that night. So with that, I'll have Chief Medina start things off.
I just want to thank everybody for being here this afternoon as we discuss our last officer-involved shooting. This one is particularly difficult for everybody involved, especially on the APD side, as they did have to investigate one of our officers actually sustaining a gunshot wound. You know, one of the things that I find most impressive about this is I really want to compliment our sergeant, and I know that he needs more time. These are emotionally charged situations that impact our officers for the rest of their lives, but the leadership that he showed, the courage that he showed, and the survival skills that he showed to get back on his feet, to continue directing officers at what needed to be done is nothing but impressive. So today we're going to get a little bit more than usual video from the scene, because we just want to showcase his heroic actions that day and everything he did to ensure that all his officers knew what their roles were and to continue playing that role as supervisor on the scene. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Kyle.
Thank you, Chief. My name is Commander Kyle Hartsock of the Criminal Investigation Division, which includes the Multi-Agency Task Force, which investigates officer-involved shootings. The shooting we're here to talk about is the first OIS of 2025 for us, which occurred on January 24th, 2025. This critical incident community briefing will provide information about a male who was armed and trying to enter someone's apartment, and when contacted by police, shot an officer, which resulted in an officer-involved shooting. You're about to see relevant video footage and photos and learn about other evidence and police procedures related to the case so you can have a better understanding of what occurred based on what we know right now. The police department conducts very thorough criminal and use of force investigations, which typically require investigators to interview multiple witnesses, review hours of video footage, and analyze a significant amount of forensic evidence. We're still at the early stages of this investigation, which can often take several months to complete. Our understanding of this incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. We also do not draw any conclusions about whether the officers acted consistent with our policies and the law until all the facts are known and the investigation is complete. A word of caution. The images and video may be disturbing. When police officers use force to arrest a subject or defend against an attack, it can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, there may be strong language by those shown in the video. 3 officers fired their weapons that day, and one of them was struck by the suspect's gunfire. The sergeant who was struck was Sergeant Brandon Watts, who was hired by the Albuquerque Police Department in 2020. He has no prior officer-involved shootings, and he is not yet back to duty. Officer Bryce Merrican was hired in 2023. He has no prior officer-involved shootings, and he has not yet returned to full duty. And also Officer Adrian Lopez, who was hired in 2022, has no prior officer-involved shootings, and has not yet returned to full duty. The subject who shot our sergeant and was shot by police was 23-year-old Anthony Williams, originally from the Valencia County area, but at the time of the shooting was living in Albuquerque. The only thing to note is he had pled guilty to involuntary manslaughter a few years ago from a case down in Valencia County, but was now off probation at the time of this incident. This incident took place in the Northeast Area Command at the Tesota Morningside apartment complex located near Montgomery and San Mateo Northeast. On January 22nd, this is 2 days prior to the officer-involved shooting, at about 7:30 p.m., our officers were at the apartment complex in reference to a different call for service when they were flagged down by an unknown female who said that Anthony Williams was causing a disturbance by continually going to her apartment. So again, this is 2 days before the shooting, but we want to play you part of this interaction our officer had with Anthony at the time. We made contact with the female who advised Anthony was scaring herself and others. When officers made contact with Anthony inside his apartment, he said he was looking for his girlfriend. While speaking with our officers, he admitted to being in a manic state and was currently on medications. Officers did a consensual walk through his apartment to ensure that no one else was in danger inside. These are two clips kind of combined together to show you that interaction from January 22nd.
I'm in trouble. I just don't know what he's like right in the head. He's freaking me out. There's no reason why you should be upstairs in my apartment.
What apartment you guys in?
I live right here.
Hey, so, you doing all right tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing alright.
Okay, so we got some neighbors that were kind of concerned that you were going
Yeah, no, the ones right up here, because, and I got proof too, actually,
to, hey, sir, you want to let us talk to him?
you,
Can
you
you
guys want to
please-
get into it. And it's funny too, because,
Can you please go upstairs?
the person I was talking to from upstairs told me that she lives alone. And, she had my girlfriend and Olivia, I can get it for you guys.
So where's your girlfriend Olivia right now?
Right now, I don't have no idea. Nobody's answering, it's going straight to voicemail.
Can you
And,
guys come upstairs real quick?
If you want to just talk to them,
yeah,
upstairs,
there's
I'll
like
talk to them.
some issues and stuff that been going on, and I was kind of honestly got to contact you guys myself because I think there's something more than just
Have you tried calling Olivia?
I tried calling her, and
Okay.
I'll be the first one to tell you I am on medication.
Okay, what for?
I take Seroquel, Gabapentin, Lamotrigine, and I don't know exactly what for it. It's a couple different things.
Schizophrenia and stuff?
It's a psychoactive medicine, but it's not for schizophrenia, no sir.
Okay, I'm not familiar with the names.
I do get a little, I do have a little bit of manic issues,
Okay.
but,
Let me ask you this, Anthony, are you currently on your medications, man?
yes, sir.
Yeah. Just hang tight right there, brother. Police department.
January 24th, so 2 days after that interaction, at approximately 1:14 in the morning, officers were dispatched back to those apartment complexes. A 911 caller had told our dispatchers that an unknown male subject, who we now believe was Anthony, was banging on his door. The caller told our dispatchers that this person banging on the door said he was armed with a firearm and was looking for his girlfriend and believed she was inside this room. The caller told dispatchers he was also armed with a firearm and was ready to shoot this person if he entered the apartment. While on the phone, the caller told our dispatchers the male outside had now broken the front window and was fearful that he was about to enter the apartment. Officers responded and first made contact at that apartment where they did not find the suspect or Anthony there, but made contact with the victims inside. Here's part of the 911 call that our dispatchers received.
Hello, honey. I need people over here now. I'm 3958 Montgomery Boulevard, Northeast.
What is the crime?
I'm in apartment 10, building 1, on the northwest corner. Hey, get away! I have someone threatening me and my pregnant wife. And he's trying to break in.
Somebody's trying to break into your apartment?
Yes, he was threatening to shoot us. Please.
And you live building 1, apartment 10, correct?
Yes, yes. Please, he's asking for someone named Olivia. No one here. Hey! Get out of here now!
Officers arrived on scene and made contact with that caller. We'll now show you a brief interaction with the caller explaining what had happened.
So later on, I start hearing pounding on my door, my dog is barking, so I come up and I peek through my blinds, and it's some white guy, whitish hair, blondish hair, black puppy jacket, and he's claiming someone named Olivia lives here. And I'm like, no one named Olivia lives here, man. I'm like, I'm sorry. And he seems really agitated.
Yeah.
And he said, I know she's in there. I'm gonna come in there. And I said, dude, it's just me and my pregnant wife. Leave us alone. He said, I'm gonna shoot you and your pregnant wife if you don't let me in now.
Yeah.
This is a photograph of that apartment's broken window. Officers spent the next approximately 15 minutes just walking around the entire property, seeing if they could find this suspect. Initially, they were unable to locate him and started returning back to where their police units were parked, which is in the bottom right of that photo. While officers were actually coming back to their vehicles, they saw Anthony, who matched the description of the person who was at the door. And actually, one of the officers on this call was one of the officers there 2 nights ago. She believed this is probably the same individual that we talked to who was looking for his girlfriend. Officers started to contact Anthony right near this grass area in front of where their units were parked. As officers approached Anthony, they told him he was detained and not free to leave, and they started to move closer to him to conduct a pat-down search. When Anthony suddenly started backing away from them and pulled a handgun from his person and fired 3 rounds in very quick succession. One struck Sergeant Watson in his hip, one struck a marked police unit directly behind the officers, and one struck the sidewalk and we believe disintegrated upon impact. 3 officers returned fire, striking Anthony, who fell down. At least one of our officers' rounds entered the apartment building behind where Anthony was shooting at officers and struck a separate subject who was asleep in his bedroom, causing a non-critical injury. That subject was later transported to the hospital and released the same day. We're first going to play you this clip of Sergeant Watt's video, and again, as Chief mentioned, it's going to play for about 5.5 minutes to kind of show the entire situation that also played out after he was shot.
Hey, Anthony! Police department, you come talk to us for a sec? You come talk to us? Can you keep your hands out of your pockets for me, bud? So for now, you're detained, you're not free to go, okay? This officer's gonna talk to you for a sec.
So do me a favor, just for now.
Hey, no, stop.
Don't touch me.
Get your hands out! Get your... On my leg, on my hip, my left hip. Go ahead, PD.
It was you that were so sick.
That's 10-4. It's too low. It's too low. It's not. Tourniquet's not gonna work.
Come right back to you, Rice.
Do not move. Do you understand? If you move, you're gonna get shot. Do you understand? Okay. Okay. Yeah, one more.
I know for 12, how many times was he hit?
I think this one. I'm not really sure yet. We go ahead and start rolling 43. This one's good. We're working on this subject and show us more. All
Can
right.
you get him through it?
You can. Where's the gun?
I know 431, I know
Okay.
434.
Get him put his arms out like an airplane. Put your arms out like an airplane.
Anthony, arms out.
You're coming through the main entrance towards the east of the main road. Shortly after you want right in front of all our units. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good.
Anthony, arms out.
Hey, move back to cover. Move back to cover. You're good. You're good. Keep going. Keep going. No, you're good. You're good. Negative. Just stay up. Stay up. No. Good first press. Good press. Good first press. Yeah, you're good. good. You're good. All right. Yep. You gonna move up? Hang on. No. Adrian, keep giving commands. You check the condition of your gun and check yourself. Make sure you don't get hit. I'm gonna check myself. So hang on, let B check herself first. All right. You're good, B? Move your hands out to the side. We need you to move your hands to the side so we can come help you.
We want to help you, but you gotta move your hands out. The faster you comply, the faster we can get you help, okay? Hands out.
You put a shot, Fire 3900 Montgomery, 23 rounds.
Anthony, hands out.
That's gonna be 10-4. Anthony, we need you to move your hands out to the side so we can try to help you. Good, Bryce? All right. Negative. All right, hey, Adrian, check yourself. Bryce, take over commands. Yeah. Okay.
Anthony, I need you to place your hands out like an airplane. We need to be able to see your hands. Get your hands out. Anthony, I need to see your hands. Get them out now. Anthony, I want to come help you. I need you to get your hands out now.
Yeah, come on.
I know we're calling the weird team, Victor.
You're right in front of us. All right.
Team 37 needed? Do we have a condition on him?
No, you're good.
Hey, get back inside. Get inside now. Anthony, we need to see your hands, man. Get them out. We're not going to be able to help you if you don't get your hands out now. Get your hands out like an airplane.
Hey, all you guys try to get to some cover. Use these benches as cover. Bryce, tuck behind that balcony a little more. Use these benches, use those trees, whatever that is over there behind Adrian. Use that stuff as cover.
Anthony, get your hands out now so we can come help you.
Bryce, if you can, tuck behind that balcony a little more so you get more cover. You got something.
We're not going to show you the clip from Officer American's video. Officer American does fire their weapon in this video.
Hey, Anthony. Police department. Come talk to us for a sec. Come talk to us. So do me a favor, so just for now, keep your hands up!
This is a clip from a witness officer who does not fire their weapon but does capture the shooting.
Talk to us. Keep your hands out your pockets for me, bud. So do me a favor, just for now.
This is a video we recovered from a porch balcony from a nearby apartment that does capture part of the shooting. It does have audio. These are two still shots, one from Officer American's OBRD on the left, and one, we're trying to time sync them up as close as we can from this balcony video, showing the gun pulled out, and actually you can see the muzzle flash of the rounds firing at the officers. This clip is several minutes after the shooting, but shows officers approaching Anthony, and we'll see where the gun is as they make contact with him.
Some of you guys go.
One apartment 116, yeah, first one.
Yeah, you guys see it? Don't make too far of a conversation, because they might be prison.
I'm gonna go put gloves on. Take them out.
If I'm the victim of the conversation.
It's really cold to the fridge. Down front.
Go ahead and roll towards me.
My gun's right there. Down front, what's his condition?
This is just an overhead map helping you kind of get spatial awareness. The stars indicate the approximate location of the officers when they fired their weapons. The red box indicates the approximate location of where Anthony was, although he was moving throughout as you saw. And the blue box to the left indicates where the police unit was that was struck by Anthony's gunfire. The yellow box is showing you where the third gunshot victim was sleeping at the time. This is a photograph when the sun came up of the scene. Approximately 15 .223 caliber casings that were fired by officers were collected, 11 9mm casings that came from our officers, and 3 9mm casings that we believe came from Anthony's firearm. This is a photograph of the firearm still laying in place that Anthony used that night. This is a closer view of that area, including the apartment in the background where some of the shots went through the wall. And this is a photo from inside the room where that third subject was sleeping when he was struck by gunfire. Again, it was he was struck in his forearm, was taken to the hospital right away once officers rendered aid, and was released later that day. This is a photograph of our police unit that was struck by gunfire on the front driver's side bumper. This is a photo of the gun that Anthony used to shoot our sergeant that day. It was not reported stolen. There was an IBIN lead to it that tracked back to a January 7th shooting in Northeast Albuquerque. We're still investigating if that was Anthony who did that shooting. It was just a shot spotter alert where we picked up casings. We have found the registered purchaser of the gun. It was purchased in 2020 by someone in Albuquerque who have somewhat told us that they knew who Anthony was, but had no idea that this gun was missing or in his possession, essentially. That part of the case is still under investigation of exactly how the gun got from their hands into a convicted felon's hands. Anthony sustained 4 gunshot wounds and was pronounced deceased on scene. Over the next several months, the MATF will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. Our detectives will interview any new witnesses that come forward and complete any forensic test. After the investigation is complete, the case will be forwarded to the district attorney's office to make a determination of criminal charges. Our Internal Affairs Force Division will also investigate the shooting to determine whether the department's policies were followed. The results of the administrative investigation will be forwarded to the city's superintendent of police reform to make final decisions on discipline. Our Force Review Board, made up of deputy chiefs, will also review the incident and identify trends and potential policy changes that may be needed in response to any shortcomings that are identified. We can help answer questions.
You know, just real quick, I just want to touch on a couple things that I think are really relevant and important in this case. I think we've got to really look at the fact that you see that first initial interaction, and our officers need the tools to be able to keep people safe. They recognize that this individual needed to get mental health treatment. They did everything they could within their authority to try to convince this individual to go. But I think when we talk about the topic of competency and some of the changes we want is officers should have had more tools to their disposal to be able to get this person to the help that they needed. They all about begged this individual and asked him, call us back, we want to take you for help. And it is important that we're able to get people to help when we see that they're in crisis, and that we look how legislatively we could give a little bit more authority to our officers to help protect them and ultimately to help protect a victim. And then once again, I'm going to echo the voices of our district attorney in that our juveniles need to be held accountable. I mean, this individual turned age, I think it was 5 months after he pled to 3 manslaughter charges, and he aged out and basically got 5 months on 3 manslaughters. Like, we got to make changes that hold people accountable and that we have a little bit more of ability to help individuals through situations and ensure that there's a safety for the public. But with that, now we can go to questions. Thanks. It's my political 2 cents. Yes, Matt.
Sergeant Watts was hit in the hip. Did he have like broken bones? Like, can you kind of describe the injuries?
He had some injuries. I'm not going to get into the extent of his medical records and his injuries, but he was able to get, he is up on his feet, but he is currently still recuperating from the gunshots.
Okay. And what Gilbert mentioned at the beginning, the injury thing, is that just kind of like mentally not ready situation? Like,
I mean, I think he needs time to process everything that's occurred, everything he's going through. He's still physically trying to heal, and I can't blame him that he doesn't want to speak at this time. I mean, he still is physically in the healing process.
And to be clear, he's done his interview with us. He just didn't want to talk to you guys.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
There are some media requests to speak to him, and he's just not
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
yet.
It's just.
Let's hope that clarifies that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
Has APD identified the suspect's supposed girlfriend?
Yes, they did contact her. She is fine. She indicated that she had left him and that she was safe and didn't need any assistance from law enforcement. Yes, Nick.
Yeah, Chief, I mean, it was a remarkable video of Sergeant Watts commanding the scene while injured. Is he gonna be put up for some kind of award for valor and all that?
You know, that's one of the things I talked to my executive staff about when I first saw the video, and everything that I learned is like, I don't want to be typical APD of the past where like 5 years from now we recognize somebody, and we're trying to fast track these awards, especially in this situation. So yes, he is going to be recognized at some point in time. Don't be spoiling the surprise. Yes, man.
I don't know if you know, but what happened to the dog?
You know what? I thought of that when I viewed the video. I don't think the dog was located. Was the dog located? I meant to ask that day and I forgot.
I'm not getting a positive affirmation.
Yeah, I don't think the dog was located. If you noticed, I noticed when the shots were fired, the dog tore off in a different direction. And I meant to ask when I saw the video that day, and it slipped my mind as I was asking other questions. Anything else? All right, thank you. Everybody have a good day.